Good morning. We are at RadioKair, and I am doing my first interview. And I thought, who would I like to do that with? And I wanted to interview someone that I knew a little bit about their business, enough to be dangerous, right? I don't know specifically what he does or how he does it, but I also know that from our leadership experiences together, from our conversations here, excuse me, we've grown pretty fond of each other, and I understand his business well enough to, I think, ask the right questions and highlight him and Nicholas's business in the best possible light for their support of what we're accomplishing here. So today I have Jeremiah with Stander and Company, a neighbor of ours. Welcome, Jeremiah.
Thank you. Thank you for having me, John. I'm really excited about this and looking forward to the opportunity to talk about what we do, but overall how we're working together and bringing a wealth of knowledge and services to the local community.
Yeah, whenever I was going down this path originally with Bob and Linda about what do we want them to accomplish and what do we want the radio station to accomplish, very quickly Stander and Company kept coming to mind, right? Because of the influence Stander and Company has in the community, their chamber memberships, Greater East Montgomery County, Partnership Lake Houston, as well as their clientele, right? They've got a lot of small business clientele in our community that they support through the scaling, through the growth from small business to medium-sized business as the company scale, helping them understand and make right decisions. But thinking through that process of what me and Bob really wanted to accomplish was this station, I couldn't help to think, who do we need to align with and support better than Nicholas and Stander and Company? And Jeremiah came to mind because of me and his interactions. So I couldn't be more thrilled to have you supporting us, and thank you very much.
Yeah. Thank you for having me.
Yep. So, so we most of us know what Stander offers. I've been around your business a little bit, been around small business workshops. I've been around and listened to what Nicholas has to say. And we know that you offer, tax solutions. We know you offer bookkeeping solutions, insurance solutions for small businesses. We know you're there if companies need payroll. But what I wanted and most interested in now is kind of more specific to what you're doing now, Jeremiah. And I know I was a small business owner. I made mistakes. A lot of times we throw stuff against the wall and see what sticks. But I think through your expertise, you can teach, help, educate, and support businesses with not so much throwing stuff against a wall, but using tried and true methods in order to support the small business. We're not throwing money out a window.
Yeah, we are a unique company because of the fact that, and Nicholas has a wild, vision about helping entrepreneurs reach their fullest potential. And, he and I got together because of our consultative services, but we had a vision. You'll rarely find a accounting firm and a marketing company coming together and doing these kind of things. So but there was something that we thought that was very powerful, and we envisioned being able to sit down with our clients and have their accountant, their business consultant, there in the same room, making decisions about what the marketing should do, and the power of business strategy and having a marketing plan to work with that strategy, and everybody on board is in that room talking about how we're going to do that, is what really sparked and fueled this mission that we've been on for the last 4 years.
Yeah. So what do you call in that platform that you're using now?
Yeah, we're just a business services firm. I mean, we can't be an accounting firm no more, Stander and Company, and no longer can we just be a digital marketing firm. So the greater hierarchy of that is just being able to support businesses through our business services.
Right on. So the digital marketing is where you spend most of your time. And let me ask you a question from the small business side. I was part of a franchise, which had benefits, right? It was easy to launch. I knew my supplies list. They had a generic marketing plan. We had marketing support from a corporate level. We also had a third party that we used for our digital marketing. What I learned very quickly is what works in Tampa, Florida, or Cleveland, Ohio, sometimes may not work in Humboldt, Kingwood, and Atascocita. So painful as it was for me, and a lot of money out the window as it was for me, how do you differentiate yourself, and what history do you have in from your experience to highlight and support businesses where they don't make the same mistakes I did?
I equally, John, when someone is sitting across from me and they have a franchise, I quickly cringe for the same reasons, because I'm already aware and understand that they have a little bit of a different challenge, because they don't get to make a whole lot of decisions oftentimes. Not all the time, but oftentimes they don't get to make the decisions on their marketing, even though they're the ones that's spending the money on it. So they are kind of handcuffed, because they have to use the marketing company that came with that, and they get a website that has /Kingwood, Texas, and it's a page, and it's not, they don't have any control over it, nor can they add text or images or these types of things. And so it can be a little bit of challenge for franchises, unless they can, of course, break away from that. So
one of the things that was exciting about my franchise agreement is I did have the opportunity to not necessarily terminate the agreement with my existing marketing company. They still had ownership of my site, but we were able to terminate the add-on features, the add-on business that I had through them, and it was X number of dollars a month, right? To go to the superior plan where they were supposed to spend more time in the digital marketing and SEO optimization, all those things they promised, which never happened, right? But I was able to terminate that agreement probably about a year in, and take on someone local that I knew the keywords, knew the community well enough to help me. And have you had that experience in the past, or is that something that you recommend to franchisees to explore that? I mean, how would you go about that direction?
If I had the opportunity to sit down with a franchisee prior to him making the decision to move with the franchise, I would hope that he had that he would be able to have a conversation with the franchise, and things like not just owning the website, but having a separate local website. The way that SEO works, it can make search engine optimization a little bit challenging, and so those results are going to be limited on because you're not you're dealing with a page or some links on a page and that sort of thing. They can always usually even go back to the franchise's website, which then you're spending all this money to get people to a website that can potentially navigate away and end up in a different franchisee's website.
Yeah.
Other things. And so there's if I was sitting down with the franchisee and they're making decisions on should they move forward with this or not, I'd be wanting to have a conversation. Can they own or set up their own Google My Business page? Can they set up their own Facebook page? Can we be in control of that? Though respecting the franchise's wishes about colors and fonts and texts and what we say, and trying to follow a rule of guidelines. But I think that is oftentimes a very big challenge for franchisees when they're going into business. If they have it, and sometimes they're even by territory. They only have certain amount of zip codes that they're allowed to work in, and so asking these kind of questions and making sure that they've thought of everything would what I would want to do is be able to sit down with them and make sure that they've thought of everything, because they go into it thinking that they've got this turnkey solution, and sometimes it works out just that way. I mean, if it's Chick-fil-A, more than likely it's going to work out for you. You're just going to have to put in a lot of work.
Yeah.
A lot of work.
The Chick-fil-A's of the world. I mean, I think we all understand that's a pie in the sky dream, right? And a lot of us see franchisee as that potential, and some of them do have that potential, right? But so let's shift gears a little bit to the other small businesses, right? Maybe the people that don't have a nationwide brand behind them. Maybe they don't have approved logos. Maybe they don't have approved fonts and colors. And why are those things so important? And I think as you learn about marketing, we all learn that there is importance into standardization, right? People have to recognize your image, your logo, those kind of things. And being a marketing specialist like you are, do you want to speak to how in depth you can go with any business as far as the digital side of it, or the overall picture of marketing, or how that looks, or, with the business strategist in the room? There's a lot of services that Stander and Company can support as a whole for small businesses, up to and including the marketing. So do you want to talk a little bit more about the standardization, and then how to use that power in the digital side, and what that looks like and feels like to the consumer?
Absolutely. I think the most important thing that a small business owner wants to fine tune is their uniqueness. What differentiates you from the other carpenters that are in your local community? What differentiates you? And I'm not talking about you provide a better service. Everybody says that. Everybody says that I've got the best service. You have to find your uniqueness. What are the things that are going to make you unique, make you look unique, sound unique, feel different, so that the customers that are searching for you, when they do come and you do all the work that we do to get people to your website, and to they're having a different experience, and they can sense the difference, or the personal care that you put into your company. And taking the time to sit down and think about that is usually a very difficult thing for a business owner, because when they start their business, they're leaving a company, and is all they know is that they need to get business. And so they either join, hopefully they join their local chamber. That's definitely a positive thing to do. But stopping, meditating, and working with experts, who know how to ask the right questions to help pull out the answers to those questions, that's going to help define your uniqueness, and then take the brand that everybody made a decision on, and develop that into, and put it into creative words, and put it into creative images, and photography, and bringing it all together into a really nice website that communicates your brand's uniqueness and your services, and the way that you're going to perform those services better than everybody else.
It's like the reputation, right? So we want to build a brand reputation as small business owners, right? Bob and Linda at RadioKair want to build some type of reputation, which they already have, right? They are well represented in the community. You go into either chamber, they're known, their station's known. Same thing with Stander. Your business is known. Nicholas has done a great job building that solid reputation. But now, how do you take another small business and take what is a concept, an idea, and someone that typically knows how to execute? Say it's Joe's Plumbing, right? Joe's Plumbing knows how to do plumbing work. But really your expertise says, all these 27 other guys know how to do plumbing work. Why is it different, and why should you expect different? And let's make it look like a professional business, instead of some guy with tobacco stained shirt showing up and putting mud in your carpet, right?
Right. And part of that process is studying the competition, looking at their websites, knowing the customers that they serve, and spending the time to understand, what they are doing, and how, and from a web analytics standpoint, how they're being found on the internet, keywords that are being used for their website and how their website is laid out and all those types of things, so that you can get inspiration from the things that are working for them, but use that inspiration to differentiate you and perform better. I mean, because you're breaking down how Google is also seeing you looking at their websites and how traffic is coming to the website, and so then you want to kind of catapult off of what they're doing, but then do it better, so that you're essentially ranking better and getting more of those ideal customers.
It's kind of like the old saying, a dog will chase a car all day, right? So marketing a lot is dog chasing the car. But what Jeremiah does a better job of is, once you get that highlight online and you've caught the car, what do you do next? What are you going to do with the car, right? Is the website interactive enough to book the appointments, to get them to the end buying solution, as opposed to, hey, this looks pretty over here, but I'm not functional. All those things have to work together, and your marketing spend, it's not cheap, and it shouldn't be cheap. It needs to be a percentage of your revenue. That's just a fact of life. But you want to spend it in the right direction, and you have to use experts, and hopefully local experts that understand the consumer in our environment. And like I said earlier, the consumer in Tampa is buying differently than the guy in Cleveland. That's different than Houston. But we have Jeremiah and his expertise. He understands, he's part of our community. He's using the same buying power that everyone else is. So how does that company differentiate? So that's what I love about Jeremiah's team is they can offer the front end. Hey, look, your marketing spend needs to be around here in your business. And then also, okay, you're going to, now the dog chasing the car, okay, now what are you going to do when you catch it, right? And so all those things have to work together, or your reputation will go out the window very quickly. And so I appreciate the fact that you guys do that. So one of the things I wanted to talk about next is a little bit about what I hold most valuable in our community, and why I think local businesses are what they are, right? And that's more of what differentiates Standard & Company as far as your community give back? What are you and Nicholas passionate about in our environment, right? I already mentioned they give a great deal to the small business. And when I say they give to the small business, their investment into both Partnership Lake Houston and Greater East Montgomery County, it helps us as chamber mates and members. It helps us grow more quickly and have a very positive influence on each other. Referral type business, small business education, all those things that we need as new small business owners, even existing business owners. But in addition to that, how else does Nicholas and you, Jeremiah, from Standard, how do you guys give back to the community?
We're doing something new and exciting, actually, and this really, I think, is the answer to that question. From our standpoint, because yes, we do give a lot into the chambers, and we're big into helping the chambers, and which in turn, helps us, help more small business owners. What we saw a need for is this whole conversation that we're having right now about what happens when you catch the car, when the dog catches the car. Well, there's a process that happens, for small business owners trying to, and when a business starts up, they don't always have the capital to be able to come to us and hire us, but they have all the potential. And so what we've started up is our new brand called E360, Entrepreneur 360. It's where we're giving these small workshops, these little classes on everything from digital marketing to business strategy, and helping small businesses make decisions and avoid some of those potholes that they can run into and get tripped up on by having these small workshops and helping for really cheap, less than $50 a class. We'll give an hour or two of just education and spending time with small business owners and having classes. So I think that that's we bought the building next door to us, renovated it, and turned it into an event center so that we can have these classes. And we're really looking forward to launching our calendar here soon, where we're going to have all of our classes for the upcoming next year, and so that and we're just inviting the community to come out and learn with us.
Yeah, it is. It really is a give back. You take several experts from your environment, right? Got Tracy, insurance expert. We got Jeremiah, marketing expert. Nicholas is kind of all small business things, right? He can tackle from every side. But me and Bob from RadioKair went over there to one of your first classes as you were launching this, and one of the things that I love is an old saying. A mentor of mine said a long time ago is your baby's ugly, right? So you have a concept and you're really proud of that concept because you've thought about it and you've thought every way, but not a lot of people will tell you your baby's ugly, and you want to hear that in a polite way. Well, Nicholas and Jeremiah did me and Bob a favor. Okay, yeah, here's your concept. It makes sense, but the question they ask, okay, other than if you build it, they will come, what is your idea? And, it's a dangerous question to ask, but, it's pointed, and some small business owners will get offended by that question, but it does need to be asked early. And the Small Business Workshop gave us that opportunity to ask that dangerous question for Nicholas to go, okay, what is it going to be? And then, okay, me and Bob go back huffing and puffing. Okay, what happened here? Our concept, but it taught us to think differently. Let's go back in a different circle. Let's go back, change the media a little bit, change the opportunity a little bit, and how are we going to launch it? And I think that Bob doesn't have a huge budget, right? Mm-hmm. So that little bit of hour or two we spent with you guys in that small business workshop, the ROI is going to be inconceivable later, right? But it is something we desperately needed at that time. So I recommend anybody go to that small business workshop. If you got a concept or something you're stubbing your toe in your business, they're going to ask some pointed questions. They may offend you a little bit, but really their goal they have for you is to make your business better. And we appreciate that about what Nicholas and Jeremiah and the team over there are willing to support our community. So thank you guys for that, and not being scared to offend a few people, because it's going to happen.
Yep. Yeah, thank you for saying that. It's our pleasure. We're excited about it. I think that this helps us give back to the community, building entrepreneurs, building the community, and when then you're dealing with entrepreneurs that are armed, educated. They have at least a general understanding of what it is. Even if they don't hire us and they need to go find another marketing company, at least they can have that conversation and have some understanding of what they're talking about.
Yeah, make sure you have enough information to be dangerous, right? Make sure you, if you don't see the same, you don't see it from the same light that maybe Jeremiah does with marketing, at least it'll send you back in a direction to ask a dangerous question to maybe, if you are that franchisee that has the force. Now, how do you ask a dangerous question to them, right? Do you understand that? So, no, we appreciate that. Right. So when is the next Entrepreneur 360 class?
Yeah, we've got one coming up in November. I don't have it on my date on the calendar.
Well, you can go to your what's y'all's website?
E360.com.
Okay.
Go to e360.com, and we're going to start. We'll have our classes on the calendar there. So, just register.
Yeah, if you're stubbing your toe a little bit, it's a cheap way to spend some money, invest in your business, and the ROI is almost guaranteed, because if you take any piece of the advice they're giving you,
and if you commit to us for a whole year, for the next year, you're going to be well on your way.
Yes, sir. So there is a subscription to it as well if you don't want to do it one time.
Right.
All right, right on. Perfect. Awesome, Jeremiah. Was there anything in closing you wanted to discuss that I maybe failed to ask?
I think that we had a great conversation. I can't think of anything else that we need to address, but happy to be on the show, and thank you for your time.
Yep. Well, thank you, Jeremiah. Again, Jeremiah from Standard & Company, digital marketing expert in that group of small business all in one, right? So Standard does a great job of helping the small business owner, and this is one avenue that I suggest everybody kind of at least explore an option, discuss with Jeremiah, because he will very quickly guide you in a direction that will be nothing but support. And then this is John with RadioKair. I'm supporting Bob over here, and we're asking for you guys to like, share our posts, look at us on YouTube, all those kind of things. Do a little bit of searching on Jeremiah and his company, and what you'll see on their site will be valuable. And do the same for him, because we have to grow our social media presence, both of us, in order to become more influential in the community, and for the community to continue to prosper the way it has. There you go. And then just hit yes.